Okay, this is the part that I really did not want to go through because I do not like playing Hanzo. Okay, who's going to be playing Hanzo? It's either going to be Zahir or OMG Come On if you're on sub. Don't know if Bouncy Bear can play Hanzo, but like, given that in terms of positioning and stuff, you know more than I do. So, like, I'll provide like a general sort of idea that is an accompaniment to the idea for the team positioning that I had, and then if you guys see a flaw with that, obviously change it as you see fit because you're the Hanzo people and I'm not. Like so far I've only been playing heroes that I'm really comfortable with, like Diva, Orisa, Junkrat, Mercy, Zen. Basically the entire composition apart from fucking Hanzo, who I hate with a burning passion. Okay, so you're moving the payload, and at this point you're going to be that boring person behind the Orisa. Up until you get to... sort of hard to tell. No, you actually can make it up there. Will you be able to make it up there though? No, because they will have destroyed this. So, no, that's not viable. This is, however. So you've got this spot. But the issue is that you'll have to be the behind the shield person until you are past, until the payload is like here, pretty much. As soon as the enemy team starts to pull back a bit, and you can actually utilize this, you know, if they're behind this sight line, then you'll be able to jump up here, right? And so having this high ground, pretty fucking helpful. And the idea that I had was to utilize the fact that people don't really play anything mobile. If someone's playing a Pharah, yes, you can deal with them. It might be a bit better of an idea to swap to Widow, in which case Monkez can boost you, or Mercy can boost you, and you can get those sweet shots off. If they're playing Pharmacy or something like that, I'm sort of leaning towards maybe running Pharmacy instead of Mercy and Hanzo, you know, swap out the Hanzo for Pharah. Anyway, the idea. If you've got your Junkrat here, and you've got your Diva here, you're with your Diva. At the moment, there's only Zen and Orisa on the payload, and Mercy, but she'll be sort of fluttering between everyone, because that is what she does. This is a really useful spot for you. Partially because if you're going here and they spot you, zoom, and then they can heal you. Or, no, that does not work. Ooh, fall off, jump forwards. Subject to timing, of course, but it basically, no, I wouldn't do that. Purely because it wastes your space function. Your, what's it called? Lunge, that's the word. Okay. You've got your Junkrat here, your Diva here, and you're here. This area is yours. Like, this space is yours. Junkrat's got this flank here. You've both collectively got this flank here, because he can also do the ricochet shots off into this room via that doorway. And you are sort of leaning towards thinking that you'd be able to take on a 1v1. Say occasionally there's like a Roadhog that decides that he's going to set up shop in here, and whatnot. But anyway, the idea is that once they have gotten to this corner, this corner choke, then you can start sort of shifting your way around. At this point, the idea is that I've already got a Diva here and a Junkrat here. like Diva's sort of doing her thing around here, helping our guys if needed, and that you'd be sort of leaning towards thinking here, because this way you've got pretty fucking superior sight line onto them. Like here, bam. You've got this zone, boom, 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 in your line of sight, which is really good. If they're correctly positioned, however, it's a bit meh. So say you push them, like you do enough shield damage that they're pressured and they fall back underneath here, like underneath this spot. That is really damn helpful for you as Hanzo. There we are. You know.
See through the dragon's eyes.
Oh, that fits so like a glove. Okay, that's enough of me creaming myself. That was just it fit in perfectly. No, that was a really terrible accidental sexual pun. I'm tired at this point. Okay, so I guess playing this sort of zone as Hanzo, you're gonna get punished, right? If they've got a Widow, if they've got a McCree, if they've got any sort of damage that isn't underneath this bit, and they're playing out here, you know, like in latter stages where your payload is around here or whatnot, then you're gonna get punished if you're here. So, how do you deal with this? Honestly, at this point, you'd probably have to play with your shield tank. Your Divas and Junkrat, maybe, have got the high ground here, and you're here with the other 3 or 4 people on your team. Going along, and then at this point, you'd probably want to get the high ground, because you're giving your Mercy and your Zen an opportunity to heal you. You're giving your Mercy an opportunity to reposition herself. Basically, you want to just give her more options. You're not really going to get flanked around here, and if you are, you can probably hear them coming, and if you can't hear them coming, then you're an idiot. And so, at this stage... Oh, you can't do the... You're an idiot. Here. Bang. You've got Sonic on this room, which is extremely helpful. Can you do... Probably can. It's an artwork. It's honestly an absolute masterpiece. You can just see all of the things. It's all of the good feelings. Yeah, that's cool.
See through the dragon's eyes.
Anyway, and you basically just want to utilize this high ground. As soon as you have this space sort of covered, then that's better. And then again, if you're playing Hanzo, you're here, I guess a really good opportunity for playmaking. If they're coming back and it's getting a bit brawly, you know, it's like, say it's like a 5v5 or a 4v4 or something like that, and it's like petering out, and they're getting better respawns than we do, because their spawn is over there, and our spawn is, you know, back at the first spawn. This would be a really good opportunity for you to just ruin them, or alternatively, oof. Okay, so I don't think you get how good that was. That cleans out this room. It cleans out underneath the balcony. What's it called? Archway. The choke, that's the word. And it also cleans out here. And I see it cleans out in a very ethnic sort of way. No, just kidding. It spatially cleans out. Here. Yeah. Like, the idea of working these high grounds, this one here in particular, and this high ground looking out here, is that you have multiple sort of vantage points to peek out and and get picks on people that are returning from team fights or returning from spawn, sorry, and that sort of thing. Obviously, this sort of area, playing as Hanzo, is really good. And I'm sort of hesitant to say really good just because at the moment everything is really good to play Hanzo with. Because he is broken. Yeah, that's the right word. Okay. I'm sort of leaning towards thinking maybe is it smart to utilize its high ground, or would it be smarter to drop down? No, that's not a smart idea at all. It's just me being stupid. This isn't necessarily the worst sort of spot, just while you're on attack and you've got vantage points over these spots. Not that people would use these two as much. It's normally just 1, 2, and 3, with small occasion being these ones here. But you've got a really good sort of anti-high ground or that sort of thing. I guess you could also use just here if you're playing more with your team. Yeah, that's probably the better option. Just sort of cuts out an extra variable of, like, you know, you're closer to your team. That's better. They're both just as effective though. There is like an opportunity to get like a really nice sort of spawn campy style dragon strike. And the only reason I say that is because as soon as you can unbalance them by killing, you know, even just 1 or 2, if you get a kill on like a Zen or, you know, something here, then they're sort of fucked for this entire line of the drag. Like, if you kill someone when they're coming out of spawn here, this road at least is free for you to just move the payload on, which is really good. And so ideally you'd want to be utilizing this space to I don't know why you wouldn't just put it there. That'd be smarter. And then I guess another pro is that say if there's a fight happening here, right? And it's happening right on this corner. You're playing as Hanzo, you've got the verticality, which means that if they've got a shield of some sort, then you can shoot slightly over the shield. Like, yes, you can sort of just do storm bows and ruin their shield tank, which is a valid maneuver, and that's just something that you'd probably have to decide when it's happening. But also that you can, you know, just shoot over the top of their shield and get picks on squishies. Like, so damn useful. Where does that... Okay. Just trying to think as well. There is a perfect line here. Say if you're fighting and the payload's here. One. Okay, a bit to the side. So this would probably be right. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I'm just trying to think of, like, you know, if you had a dragon strike that went through here and sort of touched the walls here, that would flush them out from this space. It'd force them back into these, which in itself isn't bad for them positioning speaking, but it is bad for them because you know where they are and you can dictate where they are. If they have a particular plan set up, which was, you know, having someone here, and like 3 people grouped up here, you know, a shield, 2 squishies, whatever, then you've ruined that plan for them. They have to step back and you get extra payload. That's basically it. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, maybe it's here. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, I only just realized that you can infinitely jump. Wow, that's fucked. And kind of scary. Okay. Let's fly. Get. Okay. This point is yours. This is your window. This is your life. This is your everything. That Sonic wasn't necessary. We've got a Sonic here, flushes them out. We've got a Sonic there, flushes them out. That makes your Junkrat very, very, very effective, and it helps everyone in your team figure out where people are. You know, say if your Junkrat is like about to start walking through to Mini, and you've got a Sonic. If your Orisa right-click halts, then everyone's able to dish out damage, probably the Junkrat as well, blah, blah, and you want to be able to secure this space for your Junkrat. Like, you want to be able to secure this zone for your Junkrat before the payload gets to here, right? You want to be able to, like, have this space, you know, say if I'm playing Junkrat right now, I want to have this space as mine. You know, you can rebound your cricket balls off the walls here, and this space can be yours. And in saying that, it means that you're creating like a danger zone. Not a danger zone, like a buffer zone of Junkrat damage between the enemy and the payload, which is really good because it basically means that they're a little bit more reluctant to do it, or they're a little bit more spatially disadvantaged to actually contest the payload, and that means that you get to move it. So that means that having you here is good. And I guess at this stage you would want to set up a crossfire. If you've got your Junkrat there and he's shooting payload up until this point, and you're here and you're doing your thing. Okay, so say if you're here and there's a McCree that's coming around the corner and he's about to flash you and you go, ugh. Oh, that's irritating. Maybe you have to do the sort of the half jump on the fall down. Yeah, that might be it. Okay. Anyway, sorry, I'm just sort of thinking in my head. It's probably just going to come across as me doing random shit on this video. Okay.
See through the dragon's eyes.
I guess a perk of having this, let's say, press Q here. Damn, I was hoping that it would flush out this space. Okay, so here. Oh, it's pretty much just directly straightforward. Righto. Like, literally straightforward. A little bit down. I'll test that out when it comes back up. Yeah. Your Diva's going to be here. You're going to have your main tank on payload. You're going to have your squishies, your healers around here. And you want to be able, at least in this point, to all be as spread out as possible and still have line of sight to each other so that you can protect each other, protect like the area around someone that's adjacent to you. And I'm burping. That spaghetti was good. And you want to still be able to you want to be able to do your part in sort of hurting the payload, for lack of a better word. I think, to be honest, this space is probably just a little bit too probably a little bit too thick. Like, you'd be the judge of that. I think Dragon might fit in here nicely. It probably takes a little bit of practice to figure out where it goes in, or like, you know, what way you'll have to aim for it to fit perfectly and sort of flush the enemy team out of that, so it makes for your Junkrat to have really, really free access. Because again, the aim, I mean, I went over this in the Junkrat video, but the aim of playing Junkrat is to have this area, like this arcade area, and this zone here, his. Because it completely shuts down this flank for them, because, you know, this area, this orange tiled area for them is really not useful. Like, yes, they'll have to use it for shielding and that sort of stuff, but like, if you're shielding from the flank, then you're getting hit here. If you're shielding from here, you're getting hit by the flank. So this is why you want to have Junkrat here. Also, his retreat is pretty safe. You know, your team at this point is probably going to be payload around here somewhere. Say payload's here. Yeah. And your Junkrat, if he comes into contact with somebody, he can just zip, heals, done. And then he can make like a more concerted effort to regain this space. Sort of along the lines of, you're only temporarily giving up your space. The aim is to have this space for Junkrat permanently occupied by your team. Or at least permanently owned by your team. You know, there could be a tracer and stuff behind enemy lines, but like, is she doing an effective job in advancing their own team's like possession of space? Not really. So, you know, being able to retreat, get heals, and then recontest this space is a lot more beneficial for Junkrat. And just sort of, that was, sorry, a brief segue into the importance of the crossfire for Hanzo in getting this space. When you're around here and the payload is about here, you and Diva will probably want to utilize this space, because you've got scouting behind an immortal shield. Like, that is pretty fucking cool. And so you definitely want that. Yeah, this isn't amazingly useful. Like, yes, there's a mega, so there's a little bit of self-sustain, but okay, cool. You use the mega, and then what? Like, if someone's shooting at you, you either beat them in a 1v1, in which case possession of this space is not really useful. But you do want to get through here, where I'm shooting, into mini, or let's call it blue. Huzzah. So like, I went over this in another video. I think it was the Junkrat one. I forgot. No, it was the Orisa one. Being able to identify a color as opposed to left or right. So say our team's here, right? You've got, you know, your team on the payload, and you say tracer right. You could be like, oh, okay, that's our right. And like, everyone at this point knows that like right means right side for the attacking team, and so it's here. Or if you're on defense and someone says right, then it's right side for the defending team. You know, for your team is relevant to how you, or relative to how you are positioned. But a lot of the time you want to use, and the reason that I try and don't really ever successfully use colors is because it's omnidirectional. If you say, oh, you know, there's a Junkrat in blue, then everyone automatically goes, blue. Like, it instantly sets up a route in your mind as to where you need to go to get there. Whereas if you say it's in like right mini, then it's like, oh, okay, right, you know, got that mini, where's the next, like that sort of thing. And so if you've got this specific scenario has, like, this specific space has a name, that's good. You know, if you call this arcades, that's also another good name, right? Okay. So then as Hanzo, at this point, you kind of just want to stay on the payload, which sounds horrible. For the Junkrat, in terms of effectiveness, if you're gonna ult to make the payload uncontested, then if you do it on the left side, it means that they can't contest the payload. They have to be standing about here, right? And I don't think that contests the payload. And the reason behind my thought process on doing that is that the Junkrat's here. So you're essentially flushing them into Junkrat damage. You know, either he can hit rebound shots onto them here, so he doesn't have to like walk around and peek them. So he can either hit rebound shots or just fucking nut them in the head. Bam. And so that's Hanzo done. And now I'm gonna fly back to spawn. How far can I fly out? Oh, well that's no fun. Wow, that was quick. Okay, now next is Zen.
True self is without form.